In Switzerland said there was good progress in talks between the U.S. and Iran. Said that one objective achieved was setting up a way to address conflicts in the region.
If Hezbollah fires at Israel or if Israel responds, if there are other conflicts that arise in the region, we're actually talking to each other and figuring out how to stop the shooting, how to make the region safer, our allies and everybody else.
Battled UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's resigning and also stepping down as leader of the Labour Party. He'll stay on until a successor is chosen. Andy Burnham, the former mayor of Manchester, is seen as the most likely successor. He'd be the 7th Prime Minister in a decade. The judge overseeing the case of Charlie Kirk's death may rule today on whether to sanction prosecutors over comments they made about bullet fragments recovered from Kirk's body. Defense lawyers say the comments could prejudice potential jurors. This is ABC News. Federal investigators are looking into a close call at Boston's Logan Airport. ABC's Gio Benitez says a Delta flight had to abort its landing because of another plane preparing to take off.
A spokesperson from Flight Radar 24 telling us that Delta was about 500 feet above the departing American flight as it crossed that runway. So listen to some of the ATC audio.
American 3161, where you going? You cleared it for takeoff, 3161.
And the FAA telling us in a statement that the crew of the Delta flight executed a go-around at Boston Logan because another aircraft was departing from an intersecting runway.
The Supreme Court has reinstated the murder conviction of a man over the high-profile 1979 disappearance of a 6-year-old boy in New York City. Authorities were preparing to try Pedro Hernandez for the third time in the disappearance of Eitan Pates. He was one of the first missing children to ever appear on milk cartons. You're listening to ABC News.
A heat advisory across Western Washington is hours away. More on that in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Traffic is starting to pick up with typical slowdowns on southbound I-5 approaching downtown Seattle from Northgate, and on northbound I-5 from Boeing Field into the city. Drivers on I-405 should expect heavier volumes through Bellevue, Kirkland, and Renton. Traffic is also slowing down on westbound State Route 520 as you head into the Evergreen Point Bridge. And if you're traveling on I-5 through Tacoma, expect minor delays there, about 10 minutes or so. Other drive times right now: Federal Way to Seattle, about 33 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 20. Everett to Seattle, about 35. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial 97.3 HD2.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. It's going to be a hot couple days across Western Washington. A heat advisory will be in effect later this morning. Highs in the 80s today with some spots hitting 90 degrees tomorrow. The National Weather Service will start the heat advisory at 11 this morning, and it'll run until 11 o'clock tomorrow night. This stretches from Bellingham down through Olympia and the coast. Recovery efforts on Lake Washington had to call off the search for a missing person for the second straight day in a row. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Billy reports.
Kirkland police say just after 1:30 Saturday morning, they got word that a young man went into the water and never came up. We're reportedly on a boat just off Holmes Point. Investigators say drugs and alcohol weren't involved. Within hours, several agencies joined in on the search.
With Kirkland Police Department, Kirkland Fire, King County Sheriff's Office, Marine units, the Coast Guard, all put in efforts to find him overnight.
The King County Sheriff's Office, which is now in charge of the search, says it's difficult because the water is so deep in that area.
The search will begin again today. A stretch of warm, dry weather is raising concerns about wildfire season here in Western Washington. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports.
Jordan Simmons, battalion chief with East Side Fire and Rescue, is aware of the large fires in eastern Washington, but says small ones here can also become big if the conditions are right. He says people are usually the ones starting fires and dry weather isn't helping.
Anytime we have a period of drying that lasts for any amount of time, it's going to start drying out the smaller, lighter fuels.
He knows firsthand a small spark can lead to a much bigger fire. According to the U.S. Drought Monitor, last month was the 37th driest May on record for Washington since 1895, with rainfall more than a half inch below normal.
Basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal, also known as DJ Diesel, brought his beats to a major block party in Pioneer Square on Saturday. Organizers named the show as one of the marquee entertainment events surrounding Seattle's World Cup celebrations. And there's a cannabis safety message from the Washington Department of Health drawing attention after it was removed from social media. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss reports Friday's post said hospitals are seeing an uptick in ER visits related to cannabis products.
I've been here 24 hours and I love it. It's been so fun.
Some out-of-town visitors
watching the football, been to the Mariners game,
are getting a stronger taste of the Emerald City.
I can understand why people would travel here and think they're just going to get regular marijuana and then, have a hard time, end up in the hospital potentially.
DOH told us they don't have the data to back up that claim right now. But several pot shops have told us they're having an uptick in curious visitors, both international and domestic.
For your weather, lots of sunshine today, highs in the mid-80s right now. It's about 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome, everybody, and happy Monday to all of you. It is now June 22nd. G is out for the next couple of days. Angela Poe Russell is in. Good morning.
Good morning, Ursula. How was your weekend?
It was fantastic. You know, I love this weather.
Oh, listen, every time we have it, I'm just like, this is why we live here.
Yes.
It's like it makes up for itself.
Although with temperatures potentially in the 90s, I think some people are like, okay, this might just be a little uncomfortable. Are you among them? Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Let's get to it. We do have a very packed show for you. Our top stories right now are brought to you by Pendergast Law. And Seattle's World Cup week rolls on after Friday's big U.S. win over Australia. The city still has more matches, more crowds, and more watch parties. And our reporter Luke Ducey, who was in the middle of it all on Friday.
Wasn't that fun?
Okay, it was so fun, but I have to tell you, you were so in your element. Your 9 o'clock hit when you were getting the crowd all into it. I was like, Luke, you were just shining.
This is my thing. I am a World Cup fanatic. I'm a soccer fanatic.
Yes.
I'm a World Cup fanatic.
Yes.
But if you haven't been down to the field for one, you have two more chances. There are 2 games this week.
Okay.
2 games this week. I mean, it was special on Friday because the U.S. was here.
Yes.
Fingers crossed they'll be here again for the round of 16. Which is
so we're going to talk about that because I want to know what has to happen for that to happen. But Friday was truly magical, and you and I were saying, I feel like we have FOMO.
Oh yeah, my husband didn't have tickets, but he went down there and he just partied and met people and hung out and had a great time.
Half the people I met had no tickets.
Okay.
And they still had a good time. There's so many great ways to watch, right?
Including you, Luke. Okay, so bring us back to that, and so give us the.
You'll remember. Okay, you don't remember this because I didn't have a chance to share this with you on your show last week, but. Look, the U.S. won the game 2-0. Yeah. That's what really matters, of course. But the Aussies, I'm telling you, they won the battle between the fans. I'm just being honest.
Yes.
Thousands of Aussies packed Victory Hall in Soto.
So good.
There were thousands of them. Thousands. And remember this on your show then.
We are loving it. The American people are great, but you know what? The Australian people are better, mate. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
And then to get the U.S. fans going, I did this earlier before your show in the 8:30 hour for the hit for Seattle's Morning News. I was so nervous because U.S. fans, they might react a little bit, but they're really just watching the Aussies do their thing. And so I decided to step in front of about 400 U.S. fans who were lined up in a big circle waiting to get through security at Lumen Field. And I did this. I still can't believe I did this, and I still can't believe it worked.
Hey, soccer fans, listen up. I'm live on KIRO News Radio right now. Give me a USA. 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 USA.
I think that could have bombed horribly.
It's like it could have bombed. You hear the echo in the beginning?
Yes.
And then I became the U.S. hype man. I was the hype man out there.
I love that. Do you feel like you kind of started something with them a little bit?
Well, there was a group of guys who I thought I recruited them before I did this. And I said, hey, you guys, I need your help. Here's what I'm going to do. And if you start chanting, I know everyone else will too, just in case, right? You want a safety, a backup. And this guy, he's like taller than me. I'm 6'3". He's like 6'6". He looks at me and I thought, big guy. He's got confidence. He goes, I'm not going to do that. So why not? He goes, I'm shy. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well,
we got it done.
I wanted to ask you though, because I've also seen the reaction after the game, and weren't they singing like country roads and
inside the stadium.
The crowd really got into it. So for anyone who ever thought, okay, Seattle's not really a soccer town, that's got to go away.
Just the opposite. Actually, everyone is saying, including all the U.S. pundits, the soccer pundits, they're saying the opposite, that Seattle is the perfect venue. After that game, it is the perfect venue for U.S. soccer, and we're hoping that the U.S. national team returns. And I guess it would be like a few weeks from now, possibly, for a round of 16. And I think they will. They have a great map ahead of them. I think they will get here. But, yeah, it is the perfect place to celebrate. Yeah. The weather's great. People are great.
Yeah, I have. Oh, go ahead, Ursula.
Well, I was going to say, I wanted to just play one little soundbite. Then I want to hear your, because I know that you did spend some time downtown. Yeah. But this was U.S. men's coach, I hope I say it right, Mauricio Pochettino, who really got emotional after the win.
I think it was an amazing and a perfect connection in between the energy from the stand and the team. I think that is make us to feel very proud, because I think to connect with the people is what we wanted. And then if we want to achieve good things, we need the support of our fans. And for sure, fans here in Seattle, but also in the rest of the country, they are all supporting us. And we feel that support and that energy is amazing for the team.
I mean, who knew that it could be such a uniting event?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really.
Yeah. I have to say, Luke, I was hanging out downtown yesterday. I kept hearing about these places to watch, and I hadn't seen it for myself. And so I go to Pacific Place Mall. Wow. I mean, I don't know if you've been inside there.
I've been when it's been empty.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, not recently.
Oh, my gosh. It's on fire.
I've heard.
It's on fire. I mean, the screen is huge, and it's like the see-through screen, and there are all these people there. You would never know what Pacific Place looks like any other time. And then we went to the water, and this was the stunner. We went to Pier 62. Oh, my good. Have you been there yet?
No, but I've heard it's so cool.
Oh, my goodness. If you can just imagine being out on the water and having a big screen hovering over the water on like a barge. And so you can just lay out, look at the water, watch the game. It was epic.
And so for the U.S. match, and what a lot of other teams are doing as well, but especially the Americans, they are meeting there. And then they are marching to the field.
That's what I heard.
And so the Aussies did that for the game, and they lit up flares and smoke bombs of yellow and green smoke, and that was fantastic. And the U.S. fans were yelling USA, and it was great, kangaroos everywhere. And then the U.S. Fans did their official march to the game. Marshawn Lynch marched with them. And other celebrities. Yeah, this was a big deal. It was so cool to enter the stadium.
So what are we expecting this week, though? I mean, because is it going to be an international fan test since the Team USA is not going to be playing?
Well, you're going to see. So it helps that the U.S. is playing because it gets us all excited about it. But I'm telling you, and fans are starting to pour in today from 4 different countries. They will be here because there are 2 games this week. But these games, you'll hear the names of the countries, and you'll say, these are throwaway games. I'm telling you, these could be the most exciting soccer games that you watch. I'm telling you, and you will want to be a part of it as well, because right now, this is the 3rd group game. The final group game starts this week.
Okay, that's Thursday?
Well, Wednesday and then Friday.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So Group B plays on Wednesday, and the 2 teams going to be here are Bosnia and Herzegovina take on Qatar on Wednesday at Seattle Stadium. So here's the deal. Canada and Switzerland are also in their group, and they play at the exact same time in Vancouver, BC. Why do they play at the exact same time? And they will for every group match, because they don't want any cheating going on, because if one team knows the outcome of one game, and so what they'll be doing is watching each other in real time, because Canada and Switzerland lead that group, but Qatar needs to win, and they need Canada to lose, and Qatar needs to score like a ton of goals for a chance to go on to the knockout stage, and then Bosnia needs to win, and they need Switzerland to lose, and they need a ton of goals themselves. So the excitement is that this is going to be a do-or-die situation for the teams playing here in Seattle, and they need to score a ton of goals.
Wow.
And so, and the other two teams, if they just tie, then they go through, and Qatar and Bosnia go home. So what I mean by cheating is, and I'm not making any allegations, but you imagine that Canada and Switzerland might be saying, hey, you know what, nudge, nudge, all we got to do is tie, and we go through, and the others don't. It has happened. It has happened in the World Cup before.
I see. Okay.
Gold watches have landed on the arms of referees before in the past.
Oh, no. Well, I'm going to be there on Wednesday. I actually have tickets to the game on Wednesday, so I'll be there for that.
You're going to love it.
But here's the deal. For those of you who want to watch this, like watch the game at the pier and watch it on the screen, I did find out you have to get tickets in advance. So you go to Seattle Soccer Celebration, pick the game you want. General admissions, $50 for adults. And the one today is sold out, but there are some ones that are still available. And so it's all, I'm telling you, you will love this. Like if you don't have a ticket to the game,
I've heard it's
go
great.
online and you're outdoors and you're laying on the lawn.
And it's going to be so nice. I mean, it's going to be
telling
warm.
you,
It's going to be really warm.
It's going to be warm, but you're there by the water.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
Yeah, Seattle Soccer Celebration.
Okay, thank you for that.
And then on Friday, Egypt plays Iran, two great teams as well, but they're in this Group G with Belgium and New Zealand, and it's wide open. Anyone could win this group still, so they're going to be playing crazy as well. Egypt has one of the best players in the world as well, Mohamed Salah. He plays for Liverpool in the English Premier League. That's his club team. And then when he's playing for his nation, he plays for Egyptian, so he plays for Egypt. So he's a fantastic player to watch. He just played last night, and they won last night. They won 3-1, and he scored the team's winning goal. I'm telling you, this is going to be some crazy soccer this week. Do yourself a favor and go to one of these games or go to the watch parties. I wouldn't even spend the money. Go to the watch parties. You'll have so much fun.
Yeah, and again, Pacific Place, another option too. And then it's nice and cool. If you're like, it's too much, it's air conditioning up here at Pacific Place. Okay, I have to mention this as an aside. I love how we're geeked out on the game and all the ways to watch it. The funny part for me too on social media has been people crushing on some of the players.
There's
like
a goal. There's a goalie.
The goalie.
Who's that goalie?
The man from Nigeria.
Luke's
He's
like backing
what?
out. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Our feeds are different. Our feeds are different, clearly.
I hear my daughter say one more time. This is Christian Pulisic, the U.S. soccer player.
Oh, him too. I actually sent my youngest son a message because my youngest son is Eric Christian, and he's always said, "I'm so glad that Dad won, and my name is Eric." And I said, "Hey, look, just FYI, there's some pretty cool Christians in this world too." Send him a picture of the that particular soccer player. Well, Luke, thank you. I know we'll have you back on. I love seeing you get all revved up.
And if you want to know what I did on Friday as well, I did a day in the life of video, and I'm writing something for you as well. I did this during the Super Bowl. You know, I think some people are curious. What do you go through as you're reporting on these things?
Yes.
Well, I'll show you, including my difficulty parking down there. My one tip I have for you, if you are going down, take Sound Transit. Park somewhere and take Sound Transit. If you park down there, you can park in parking garages, but I was stuck until 5 p.m. To get
Trying to get out.
because I had
That's
to wait for the
the
roads
issue.
to back
so you
open.
can get in, but it's how you get out. Right.
And if you think you're going to sneak by, I saw about 24 tow trucks down there, and they had orders, and I asked them to tow everything in sight. You're not getting away with it. They are towing everything. You can't during game days. You can't park from 2 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Yeah, good idea. Just keep the car at home. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it. Well, with all this hoopla surrounding World Cup, obviously it's expected to have a major economic impact. Projections were around $845 million for Seattle and King County. FIFA had estimated 750,000 visitors to the Seattle area. We also reported last week that the numbers aren't quite what they originally expected. But those who are coming here, Angela, are giving glowing reviews on social media.
I've got to say, collectively, we owe the USA an apology. And when I say we, I mean the entire world. And that apology is needed purely because of how much judgment the world has thrown onto the US over the last few years. The American people are probably the most genuine, welcoming, humble people that I've ever met in my life. 100%, if you get the chance, go to the US and travel and see it for yourself. I promise you, you won't regret it.
That has been one of the most fun things to see on social media, just people reacting. However, I know that in our discussion this morning on you were saying that this truly is a pivotal time. And let's just talk specifically about our region.
Yeah, I think there are two different things going on. So I want to get to the thing you brought up. But the first piece of this is you think about news coverage and how we are portrayed. I mean, how other countries are portrayed to us. It doesn't mean that what journalists are reporting on aren't true. It's just how much of it, it's how things are curated, so to speak. I learned that. I remember covering the earthquake in Haiti, and before I got there, I'd seen all these images on CNN, and so I had in my mind what it was going to be like when I got there. And of course, when I get there, were those things, it wasn't that those things weren't true. It wasn't the whole story.
Right. It wasn't as amplified.
It wasn't,
exactly.
well, it just wasn't the whole. It's where the camera's pointed.
Right.
And so if you look at how, what's been going on in our country the last several years, the kind of coverage likely happening around the world, it doesn't tell all of us. And so you come to visit and you see you see the whole. You see us in 3D, so to speak. And I think I love that soundbite because it is a reminder to us whenever we watch news or we want to place judgments on other countries or other people, other neighborhoods, like go see it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Go see it for yourself. So getting to the other piece of this, which was I do feel like we're at a pivotal moment. All right, y'all, we did clean up for our guests.
We did.
In our region. Like we did.
Like
and that's
really
okay.
cleaned up.
As we should. I had people come over yesterday and I swept the floor and I moved a little bit of the clutter, So then this is my question. Where do we go from here? Do we want to maintain our, look and image? And what are we willing to give up to do so?
And my answer to that is yes. Is it realistic? Because one of the things, when I see people sitting on the ground in front of Pike Place Market watching the big screen, would you have ever in any other situation thought that you would put your buns down on on the street? No, right? But you get so many people there. It changes the whole dynamic, obviously.
Absolutely. And because I do frequent downtown, but not as often as I used to because there are so many empty storefronts. There are people shooting drugs. Ursula,
talk about Pacific Place.
Ursula,
that thing is usually a ghost town.
All I can tell everybody is, I don't know if it's next weekend or sometime this week, just go hang out. It's extraordinary. It is extraordinary. We are amazing. It's the best of who we are. And
how do we sustain? And can we? That's the question. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. And what is it going to entail? We talked about we have a new administration. This is not what Mayor Katie Wilson campaigned on, but she was thrust into the spotlight because she is mayor of the city that is now on the world stage. And so far, so good. Even Sound Transit. Usually we complain about Sound Transit.
Haven't heard a peep.
What has happened with? Friday was a true test because there was also a Mariners game.
I know.
In the midst of all of this,
I know, there
were lines. But there were no major breakdowns. And then the biggest thing that I heard were, in terms of arrests, people were arrested because of drones. Like, we had hundreds of thousands of people converge downtown. Kudos to SPD.
Yeah,
the stretched out SPD.
For all involved, bravo.
Yes. So it's like, if there is a will, there's a way. Okay, and I know we're being so optimistic. And coming up next hour, we are going to have someone talk to us, right? About...
Yes, Beth Knox from the Seattle Sports Commission is coming on the show. And, she's at the forefront of all these decisions and what's possible. So I'd love to hear what opportunities that this might open up since we are showing so well.
Exactly. Okay, more of the Gee and Ursula Show with Angela Poe Russell coming up next.
KIRO KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net.
Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because...
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A wildfire exploded over the weekend in central Utah, forcing evacuations. Officials say the Iron Fire has grown to nearly 22,000 acres and is 0% contained. ABC's Melissa Aden reports.
Unhealthy air quality in parts of Los Angeles, and all of this is due to this massive warehouse fire that is burning. It has been smoldering for days now, and now a state of emergency has been declared. We can see those smoke and plumes from miles and miles away. LA officials handing out masks and air purifiers to people because we are talking about 85 million pounds of food that is decaying and burning. Officials say that this could possibly burn for weeks.
Fire officials in Spokane Valley area have gave what they say is their final update on the upriver fire. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports it's burned 213 acres.
It is 75% contained. Fire crews still on scene say that the fire has just been cut in half. Evacuation levels around the fire have now dropped to level 1. The fire has caused serious damage, though, with one person dead after refusing to evacuate, also destroying at least 14 homes.
A suspected drunk driver is in jail after a wild police chase ended with 2 children and 2 adults sent to the hospital in Tacoma. Pierce County deputies say the 22-year-old driver took off after 2 attempts to stop him on Saturday. The driver eventually crashed into another vehicle at 110th Street South and Pacific Avenue South.
Hey, man, if no one told you, you're under arrest and being audio and visual recorded. Okay.
Investigators say a firearm was found in plain view inside the suspect's vehicle. The collision sparked a fire, and 1 deputy was also hospitalized. All 4 people injured are expected to be okay. A Seattle bartender is speaking out after being attacked by a customer after he refused to serve him after last call.
It was like a very violent, just like, can I throw a 99 fastball real quick?
This all happened around 1 a.m. Friday at Provisions in Belltown. Surveillance camera captured it all. A man started grabbing drinks and bottles off the counter. When the bartender tried to stop him, the man threw a glass at his chest. That glass shattered and cut his neck. The man walked out, appearing to grab another drink off the counter on his way. Thankfully, a customer who's a nurse patched up that bartender.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reporting. Getting to Golden Gates Park is about to get easier. Seattle and King County Metro are testing a new summer-only bus route straight to the Ballard Beach. It's also called the Golden Gardens Direct. It starts this Saturday. Mayor Katie Wilson, along with King County and Metro leaders, will be in Golden Gardens Park this morning. The pilot runs daily through the end of August. Now to your traffic report. It's brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Traffic is heavy right now. Southbound I-5 is slow from Northgate into downtown with typical backups through the Ship Canal Bridge. On the east side, expect a little congestion on both directions of 405 through Bellevue, Renton, and Kirkland. Westbound SR20 remains crowded heavy towards Seattle. I-90 is seeing heavier volumes approaching Mercer Island. Some drive times right now. Everett to Seattle about 35, Renton to Bellevue 20, Federal Way to Seattle about 33 minutes. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. For your forecast, lots of sunshine today and warm temperatures. The high will be about 85. Right now, it's 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out the next couple of days, and Angela Poe Russell is in this morning. And it is going to be hot, as we were talking about. You heard it in Katrina's weather forecast. Western Washington is under a heat advisory. Temperatures expected to climb into the 80s through Wednesday. I mean, we could even hit record territory tomorrow, potentially 92 degrees. How do you feel about that? I mean, I know that you and I were like, oh, yeah, this is what we live for. But when does it get too hot for you?
I will say this, before having AC, that 90 degree, listen, I'm from Florida.
Yes.
And I feel like I've been living here for 15 years now.
Uh-huh.
And it's amazing how thin skinned you get for heat. And
It's
so right
true.
around 85, I
Yes.
start to melt. Whereas I'm like, you lived in Florida with all of this humidity. Like,
Right.
what happened? I don't know. I became weak, right? But then there's always a part of me that's like, I'm sorry, you endure months and months of rain and all all the stuff we deal with in the Northwest.
Well, and do you feel like the first sunny day, if you aren't out there enjoying it, you are wasting it?
There's pressure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there is pressure.
And then you're going to think this is where I'm a little crazy. I start thinking about how many Seattle summers I have left in life.
Oh, no. No, after hitting 60, I'm very much about, okay, wait, how many vacations can I still go on?
Yeah.
How many summers do I have?
Right. So I'm
Okay,
like,
that's
how
bleak.
dare you? So I'm like, I am not complaining. I'm not
Yes.
complaining.
I know. Well, and it's also easier with the AC situation,
Yeah, but even
right?
before, I told myself, don't do it. Don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah, and AC is only a recent addition. So Jordan Simmons with Eastside Fire and Rescue spoke with KIRO 7 TV and said that, fire danger is high right now because of all the warm, dry air and low humidity.
If you're parking in tall, dry grass, just don't do that with your vehicle. That's another common cause of fire. Cigarette butts, obviously, is another big cause of wildfire.
One of the things a lot of people forget to do, and it can be dangerous, is don't drink enough water.
Oh, yeah.
You want to make sure that you stay hydrated, you take your breaks, check on your older neighbors.
The alcohol hits a little different when it's hot.
Right. This is true. Take it easy during the hottest part of the day. And then, malls, theaters, cooling centers are going to be really popular. But like you said, this is big, World Cup week. And you were talking about ways that you can go out there and enjoy it along the waterfront. It'll be cooler over there.
And what's great is if you don't have AC, Pacific Place, there's parking there.
Yes, libraries.
And it's not horribly expensive compared to the other garages. But yeah, Pacific, and they have tons of food going in there, ice cream, matcha.
Yes.
I mean, it is full of life and well air conditioned. So it's perfect.
Exactly. And just a reminder, too, though, that pets inside cars is never a good idea. And so be kind to your pets. Okay, let's talk about gas prices. One of our favorite things to talk about. Because even though the price is going down and global oil prices are showing signs of easing, we here in the state of Washington don't get as much of a break, as you know. According to AAA, the average price for regular gas in Washington is still about $5.35 a gallon, which, at one point it was $6, so that is better. But nationally, it's about $3.93, which means we're paying, obviously, more than $1.40 more per gallon than the national average. And the Center Square points out that even if a possible Iran deal helps bring down global fuel prices, we have our own built-in cost problems. We have the high fuel taxes, West Coast supply issues, and of course, the CCA, the dreaded CCA, the state's cap and invest program, all layered on top of each other. So even when the rest of the country gets a break, we don't. And I haven't had done a show with you when we've talked about, there were calls. I thought that Governor Ferguson should have put a pause on the CCA.
Yeah, I'm still going back to just because we're about to have another increase and we're already really high.
Yes.
And I think what I find most interesting about, so let's say take that decision of not pausing it. and also the decision by the legislature to raise the gas tax when we're already the highest in the country. I know we're dealing with a budget shortfall, but here's the interesting piece for me. We are a state. It's mostly, especially our legislators, mostly Democratic controlled. We call ourselves progressive, right? We call ourselves progressive. And yet gas taxes are one of those things where it hits poor people hardest. And what I mean by that is if you have more money, you can live close to where you work. You have likely a bunch of options. But if you're someone, it's like, hey, I have to work in this particular part of town, but I can only afford to live 30 miles away. Well, who does that hit hardest?
Right.
It hits them the hardest. And I just, so it frustrates me that it's hard to come up with ways. Like, I'm not trying to say, I'm not one of those people that's all like, oh my gosh, tax the millionaires more, all of that. Like, definitely,
No,
I'm not one of those
Yeah.
people either. But I'd love to see us find, like, for example, there's one tax that has been heavily debated that's changing the fees for your hunting and fishing license, going up by 38%. So I think it'll go from like $30 to $50. So I know that's not palatable. And yes, it's a low cost thing that people can do. But if I had to choose between raising a gas tax and maybe doing something like that, I might do something like that.
Unfortunately, it doesn't generate. Yeah, it doesn't generate as much money as they're trying to deal with. And you mentioned starting July 1st, the state gas tax is going to increase by 2% each year.
Yeah, and this is like I want to say it's several straight years of this happening.
I mean, so basically. And that was also something that was passed by the legislature, which is why when, Gee and I talk about it, I always say, I think we are better served by a more balanced government where one party isn't, whether it's on a federal level or on a local level, that one party isn't controlling all of it, because all these things passed. And it seems like it's always going to, okay, let's tax more. Let's increase taxes.
Well, here's what I wonder.
Let's increase taxes.
So let's play that out. For example, let's say we did have a balanced legislature, and we still have the budget shortfall.
Yes.
What would they have done?
Well, they would be looking for more cuts.
But
there absolutely would be, where do we cut our spending?
Yeah. But then would you be devastated if your favorite local nonprofit then went under because they were missing out on their millions of dollars of funding? Or, well, here's the thing.
I mean, there are hard choices.
Like.
Yes, exactly. There are absolutely hard choices. But, we've talked about how much fraud happens.
Ursula, we're not going to make up that much in fraud. Come on.
Wait,
I know fraud happens.
It's not going to erase the entire budget deficit. Absolutely not. Will it help chip away at it? Absolutely.
I just feel like that's some of the discussion happening at the federal level, and they keep talking about all this fraud. I'm like, dude, this is not going to.
We talk about fraud on a local level. Do you remember we had Rod Dembowski talking about the amount of King County fraud? Those are real dollars. Real dollar amounts.
But I want to say that was mismanagement, not fraud.
Well,
right?
There's potential fraud.
Okay.
And a lot of mismanagement. Okay, let's put it all in there. How about just handle the money better? How about that one?
Let's see if we ever get a balanced government politically and see what happens.
Yeah.
We're believing in you.
It doesn't seem like it's happened recently. Okay, still ahead, we are going to talk about how the wages are falling and wealth is surging, and no wonder a lot of Americans are unhappy today. We'll have that conversation coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only, because they've got below prime deals. That's right, top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
Spring is here, and it's time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction, your trusted local roofing team. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected all season long. Spike O'Neill here. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free roof assessment and video inspection today. Serving our community with over 10 years experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with everything from simple roof repair to full renovation. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com, or call 206-202-ROOF.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Sully here, and I've talked to a lot of businesses over the years, but the folks at Buc-ee's, they're the real deal. For over 50 years, they've treated neighbors like family with honest pricing, expert service, and repairs done right, guaranteed. They've also earned a Carfax Preferred designation. That means you get detailed updates, service reminders, and your full repair history right at your fingertips. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Angela, it's a topic that we talk about a lot on this show, the wealth gap, and there are new surveys showing that a lot of folks are feeling like the economy is not on the right track because some very rich people are getting richer, and unfortunately some people who are on the lower income spectrum, part of the spectrum, are feeling even more pinched. And so there are two events from this month that help crystallize this very contradictory moment for the U.S. economy. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the surge in energy prices that we have seen wiped out a year and a half of wage gains for the average American. Think about that.
Can we just let that sink in? So you're saying that I don't know if you call it inflation or the surge in the energy prices,
Yes.
fuel, wiped out a year and a half of wage gains.
Yes. So, yeah, think about that. I mean, just think in your own, it's a lucky person who can get more than 2 or 3% increase per year, right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at gas prices going through the roof, you're not going to be feeling that little bit of a change in your paycheck. But also, at the same time, the public markets debut of SpaceX made Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire when it comes to U.S. dollars. So again, that big juxtaposition is really one of the reasons why folks in survey after survey are saying they no longer believe that the U.S. economy is working for them.
It's not. I mean, I've covered this ad nauseum as I've filled in on this show, so I'll just give a high level. I have no problem with someone being a trillionaire. I have no problem with anyone being a billionaire or a millionaire. What I do want to call out, though, is that if you look at 100 years ago, if I just look back to 1980, the percentage of the share of what rich people used to have is larger. And so I'll give you an example. End of the 19th century, the wealthy had 3% of our economic output. Now they have 12%. It's quadrupled. And this is consistent over and over. So it's like you're just getting a larger and larger share of the pie. But what I haven't talked about is, why is this happening? Why is it happening that they're having a greater share of what's available to us? And so as a result, these people are getting poorer, these people are getting richer. So I don't know. I have some theories, but do you have a theory as to why?
A number of things, but how do some of those people become trillionaires? Because they are paying, they're creating jobs, but many of those jobs are on the very low end of the spectrum.
Yeah, they aren't paying people.
Yes.
So here's my other hot take that I don't know if you guys have heard. My other hot take is, if you are an employer,
yes,
and you have people on your payroll who are having to get federal assistance because you aren't paying them a wage that is affordable, and the federal government is having to help out, my tax dollars is helping out, and you're making billions, you should get penalized.
Yes, like
that
Walmart
should be a crime.
The number of people who are getting assistance who work at Walmart.
And so if you want to know why this is continuing, why the rich are getting richer, like literally, then that is one of the reasons. And
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely one of the reasons. The other big reason, according to, if you believe some of these think tanks, it's regressive tax policies like we have in ding, 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 Washington State.
Yes.
You hit the jack. The regressive tax policies of, basically because a lot of the wealthy, they don't make their money off of wages. They make their money off their investments. And so if you tax those investments and things like that at a lower rate than you do, let's say, folks who are just working a regular job, then they're going to grow faster. So,
well, and one of the things, and again, you and I have not had this conversation, but one of the things that we often bring up is state income tax, which Washington voters have rejected over and over and over and over and over again. And one of the reasons is because they don't feel that there is any kind of guarantee that the other taxes that we are taxed through the nose would go away, even with a state income tax.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with them. We need an overhaul. We need basically a shift. We need to say we're going to move away from relying on so much on the sales tax, and we're going to move to an income tax, and it has to happen in one fell swoop. I don't know how it's going to happen, but to me, that's the only way to make this work.
Yeah.
We can't have a state income tax and have high sales taxes.
Well, and the reason why I have been opposed to this new wealth tax is because there was an opportunity to put guardrails into the legislation, and that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how can you build that kind of trust when you won't even put those guardrails in?
Precisely.
Even though the governor has said it won't happen under my watch. Well, what happens after your watch? And, we've known politicians to have to change their claims.
What's so interesting is you were talking about a balanced government. And that was, and if you all missed the earlier part of the show, she was meaning like right now we've been Democrat controlled in the state legislature. Governor Ferguson was a bit more of a moderate, presented as a moderate
initially.
And it so now you don't feel that way. Well, I mean, he's had a tough situation with that much of a budget shortfall. How many hundreds of millions
Absolutely.
was it? But
I mean, and initially, he looked like he was looking for ideas. Because I don't think all the best ideas are one party.
Of course not.
So I think get the best ideas from whatever party. And it looked like he was more open to that. But then ultimately it was, well, we're going to go for this tax. And then we also passed a whole bunch of taxes at a time when people are just feeling so stressed.
Here's what I do know. If we keep trending in this direction, there will eventually be a revolt of some kind. Because that's what's happening. It's divide, and you get in a situation where people can't eat and they can't afford a place to live. There's only so much you can do before the
and you're right. Well, and inequality is not something new in this country, but the explosion at the very top is unprecedented.
I just want to say one thing. Why do we have this word inequality? Like, I don't know if I love that phrasing of it, because let's say if I work more hours, I don't think that your whatever should be equal, but we are talking about equal opportunity and equal access. And I'm not even going to use the word equity. And plus the music is playing. This is
there's more to this conversation. Well, text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. We'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Talks continue in Switzerland to hammer out a permanent ceasefire deal between the U.S. and Iran. Vice President J.D. Vance among the delegates over the weekend, along with mediators from Qatar and Pakistan. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
It was also notable to hear the president say that this is a ceasefire extension. This is not a final deal. There are now negotiations taking place over this 60-day window.
The delegation says technical negotiations on nuclear issues and sanctions are now the focus moving forward. In the UK, facing mounting pressure to resign due to a loss of confidence within his Labour Party, Prime Minister Keir Starmer announcing he's resigning. He'll stay on until elections are held in July. The music world mourning the death of Clive Davis, the 5-time Grammy Award-winning producer known for discovering and producing top music icons, including Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, and Barry Manilow. Davis's publicist says the 94-year-old was surrounded by family at his Manhattan home and passed away from age-related illness. This is ABC News. Evacuations in central Utah taking place after a fast-moving wildfire. Details from ABC's Melissa Adon.
The Iron Fire, the biggest of 11 wildfires across the state, fueled by high winds, heat, and dry conditions, burning more than 22,000 acres southwest of Provo. The flames erupting Friday, growing rapidly over the weekend as firefighters struggled to contain it.
It's just real sad. They rode and off-roaded in these mountains and a lot of memories, and they're all pretty much just gone, burned up.
Former Federal Reserve Chair Alan Greenspan has died.
Appointed by Ronald Reagan, Alan Greenspan knew the global economy was changing, as he once told Congress.
It's becoming increasingly conceptual and less physical, more services and less physical goods.
Greenspan oversaw a period of unprecedented prosperity through the 1990s, but his policies were later blamed for contributing to the housing crisis.
ABC's Brian Clark, Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
The World Cup has fever pitch here in Seattle, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Traffic is still busy across Puget Sound this morning. Drivers heading south on I-5 from Linwood into Seattle should plan on at least 30 minutes, while the trip from Everett into downtown is running around 40 minutes. On the east side, 405 is moving steadily, with Bellevue to Renton taking roughly 20 to 25 minutes. Across the lake, westbound SR 520 and I-90 are seeing heavier volumes into Seattle, with Bellevue to Seattle trips taking at least 20 minutes right now. Southbound I-5 towards SeaTac and Federal Way remains slow in a few spots. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Seattle is all in on the World Cup. The U.S. won the game and won their group. It was one big party outside Lumen Field for Friday's game.
USA! USA!
Seattle police say there were 4 arrests on Friday, 2 for trespassing and 2 for drone-related offenses. But fans tell KIRO 7 TV they're impressed with how smooth things have gone.
I think the city's doing a good job of just staying on top and organized, which is really nice.
NBA Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal was part of Seattle's World Cup festivities. O'Neal, also known as DJ Diesel, headlined a block party Saturday in Pioneer Square. There are just 2 World Cup games in Seattle this week. These could be some of the most exciting games you'll see because we're into the final games of the group stage. It's a win or go home for a lot of teams. 5 King County beaches are closed after water testing found high bacteria levels. The closures include Jean Coulon Beach in Renton, Juanita and Waverly Beaches in Kirkland, Matthews Beach in Seattle, along with Lake Meridian Beach in Kent. Health officials say contaminated water can cause stomach illnesses, skin irritation, and other infections. Swimmers and pet owners are being urged to stay out of the water until follow-up testing results show conditions are safe. The search for a missing boater on Lake Washington is expected to resume today after being postponed for 2 straight days. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu reports.
Officials say heavy winds were the problem Saturday. On Sunday, rescue crews say a boater ran into a cable attached to a sonar-equipped robot they were using to search the bottom of the lake.
We know the family is monitoring our activities. They are depending on us to get closure for them. And we intend to do just that. It may take some time, though.
The sheriff's office says with more people heading out to the water to enjoy the warm weather, situations like this show how important life jackets are.
A threat of violence shut down a popular Tacoma movie theater Sunday. The Grand Cinema canceled all of its shows for the day. On Facebook, the theater's director of operations said it came down to keeping everyone safe. Tacoma police work with the staff throughout the day. The theater says it's sorry to disrupt people's plans, but safety came first. If you bought a ticket, refunds are on the way. Now for your forecast, sunshine and warm temperatures today. We're going to top out at around 85 degrees. Right now, it's 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out the next couple of days. I look forward to having the conversation with him, though, Angela, to talk about what happened on Friday and how that all went.
I know I was watching some, clips on social media and I was just thinking, wow, what is that like to be in front of he's used to his Seahawks audience
exactly.
and the fans. This is such a different situation.
Just a different vibe altogether. So in case you didn't know, Gee was one of the MCs for the match on Friday at Seattle Stadium, also known as Lumen Field.
Right.
So,
he'll do this Wednesday too, right?
Yes.
I
believe so. Yes. So he's doing all the local ones, which is, and I think he's just one of 34 who have been chosen to do this, so it's a big darn
amazing.
Deal. Yeah, it really
amazing.
is. Text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476. We have several guests this hour, including, talk about Seattle being on the world stage for the World Cup. And what does this mean? We're going to talk to
Beth Knox from the Seattle Sports Commission.
Yes, because so she is a big reason why this is all happening.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to talk to her and see what's next and what she's making of all the hubbub.
Yeah. Yes. And then we've got a really cool feature story. We have a mom who's going to join us, a mom who's probably familiar to all of you.
Yes, MJ McDermott. You may have seen her on TV over the years, and she has quite the story regarding her sons and what they're doing in Hollywood. It's pretty cool.
I know. It's really going to be fun. Okay, but let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
Right now, we're going to talk about e-bikes and accidents. And this is something, Angela, that you looked into?
Absolutely.
And there was a child who was injured in an e-bike accident over the weekend, and that child is now still in critical condition. It happened in the Totem Lake area of Kirkland.
Yes, it was in the Totem Lake area of Kirkland. All we know is that the child and the bike collided with the car. So that's all we know, and the latest is that this child is in critical condition. One reason, obviously, we are hoping for the best for this child in terms of the recovery. It just brought to our attention the new laws that are taking effect regarding e-bikes and e-scooters, all that kind of stuff, because there are a growing number of children and teens that are being injured on them. Just last year, I found this out, the American College of Surgeons released a statement on electric bike safety and injury prevention. And here are some things that were notable that I just wanted to share with everybody, because so many folks are using the e-bikes and the e-scooters. It found that electric bicycle injuries are more severe than ones on a manual bike.
Okay.
And it has to do because the frame is heavier. So if something happens, then
so it's not just the speed.
It's not just the speed. It's the frame. It's how heavy it is. And the victims, they said these are surgeons coming out with this statement saying that they have a 17% risk of internal injury versus on a manual bike, 7.5%. So more than double in terms of the types of major injuries that you have when you're on an e-bike versus a regular one. And they did suggest some new laws for e-bikes that they were hoping that states might adopt, basically around the maximum speed and whether you can call them a bike. And Washington has done that. So starting this year in Washington, if an electric bike is more powerful than 750 watts or can propel you beyond 28 miles per hour with motor assistance, it's no longer considered an e-bike, but a motorcycle. Have you gotten an e-bike yet? Have you gotten?
No. And what's so funny, and I've shared this, I wanted to get an e-bike, and I was saying that I don't live that far from the station, and there are bike lanes that I could use, I suppose. And I was telling my husband, can you get me an e-bike for one of my birthdays? This is a while back. And he said, before you do that, you might want to look into it. And he specified, he just was worried about my safety. And my sister, now she lives in Germany, and she loves her e-bike. And I'm still not giving up on the idea. I'm giving up on the idea of commuting here on an e-bike, but I like the idea of having an electric bike.
Yeah. I think if it's one of those things where you want to commute a longer distance, then I think the e-bike can be environmentally friendly, it sounds like. And it's a great tool.
Yes.
I think for me, the issue comes when we're just replacing the traditional pedaling and using your body for a short distance.
Yes.
It's stuff that like for example, I think scooters
you
been. You
think it's for people who want to be lazy?
No.
E-bike?
Well, I'm saying if you're using it, for example, when I was a kid and I just drove around my neighborhood, then, I can pedal, right?
Yes.
But I'm saying if you're trying to commute a long distance, you're trying to go to work, I think that having an e-bike makes good environmental sense.
Oh, absolutely.
The same with the scooter. The issue comes like if folks aren't using the helmets or aren't obeying the rules of the road. And I think the state law makes a point going over a certain speed and not having to have some of the same regulations.
Right.
It just becomes dangerous. I mean, so many things are risky. I'm just saying it has good uses for it.
Absolutely.
And I think using it unnecessarily is, yeah.
So have you ever considered getting one for yourself?
No.
I know. I'm still not
good.
giving up on the idea. I don't know.
I think you should. I think if you're trying to go a distance,
yes.
why not?
Yeah. Okay.
If you can go the distance. I mean,
yes.
What about you?
Yes.
I mean, Mike, do you have an e-bike?
I don't.
Okay.
The only electric scooters I use are like Lime scooters, that kind of thing. Like I'll get on a Lime scooter. They're a little funner than a Lime bike, but I think that's where the disparity in some of this comes from is like the e-bikes that we're talking about. Like they've got like the big gnarly tires and they're big framing type of
really
things.
Are heavy.
They're very heavy and they could smoke a Lime bike very easy. Like that has a pedal assist motor. These are full throttle. And I think that's where we're seeing the uptick in injuries. Like my wife and I go to Ocean Shores from time to time, and there's a wonderful bike shop there where it has a pedal assist or a throttle assist, but the fastest you could go on that is like 22 miles an hour with it pinned. These things can go upwards of 30 on the street.
And someone was just saying, Richard was saying like 28 miles per hour, even if that is too high, thinking about getting hit by one of those going, close to 30 miles per hour.
We had that horrific accident between like those two Lime bikes that collided on Aurora a couple months ago. Now imagine, and those are just Lime bikes. Those don't go nearly as fast. Imagine if it was these kinds of e-bikes. I think some kind of regulations need to go into effect because it's only going to get worse, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Okay, so real quick, we do have a guest in studio.
I'm so excited. I have to tell you all listening how this started. I was on Facebook, I think it was social media, and I'm friends with MJ McDermott. Long time. I mean, you've done so much in this region. You were at Fox 13? Fox
for yes.
over 20 years.
Many
over
years.
20 years.
I was going to say
right.
decades.
And so I find out that she has a son who is playing George Washington in a new Netflix documentary. Mm-hmm. And now there's a twist. And I don't want to reveal the twist because so I was intrigued. I was like, wow, that's cool. You have a son doing really cool things. Mm-hmm. And then I find out can you let us know what happened? This is quite the story.
Okay, this is just, I'm still laughing about it, honestly. So I actually have identical twin sons who are 29, proud Ingram Ram and UW graduates. Woo, yeah. And they're living in Los Angeles, aspiring actors.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so Patrick McDermott booked this job as a young George Washington in this Netflix documentary that comes out on Wednesday, the 24th of June.
Oh my goodness, coming out. Okay,
that
is so cool.
I know, and it's called The American Experiment. So he plays young George Washington. They flew him up to Fort Ticonderoga where they shot on location with Revolutionary War reenactors and wore the real uniforms. It was November. He said he got super cold, and now he knows what George Washington felt like, crossing the Delaware or whatever. And so they shot it. They're done. And then in January, the director called and said, hey, we need you for 3 more days. Can you do it? And he goes, those are my girlfriend's last 3 days in LA before she moves to London. I don't want to do a shoot. And he's like, come, please, we need you. He goes, I can't, but I know someone who can. And his identical twin brother met with the director who said, I can't tell you guys apart. Okay, you got the job. And then he put on the costume, and the costume woman was like, it fits you perfectly. And
of course it does.
And Kirby was like, yeah, duh, it fits. So Kirby is young George Washington at the the Constitutional Congress at Philadelphia's Independence Hall, and he gets elected president of the Constitutional Congress, right? Is that what it is? But it's not in Philadelphia. This is the other part. I was unaware that there is a brick-by-brick replica of Philadelphia's Independence Hall at Knott's Berry Farm, outside of California.
No way.
Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Look it up. The guy who owned Knott's Berry Farm was a big American history buff, and he had this thing built, and apparently it's been used for lots of Hollywood productions
That
along
is
the
wild.
way.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So Patrick's in this show. He's like, I can't do these final 3 days. And your other son, Kirby, steps in. And so when we watch the show on Wednesday, those we'll have to see if we'll be able to
Can you tell? Yeah,
can you be able to tell? Can you tell? What's the biggest distinction between the two?
I shouldn't tell this on the air. But,
do it. We will.
Patrick had a mole, which I have on my forehead. Same mole, but he just had it removed. So, like, he's not got the mole anymore. I won't be able to tell them apart.
No.
But, yeah,
so without the mole.
Mm-hmm. And also, they don't live at home anymore, so I'm not as.
Right.
So sometimes I do a double take, but I usually can tell who's who.
But that is such a great solid for your one brother to. So now they're both in the movie.
They're both in it. It's a 4 or 5 part documentary.
Dang.
And also just the show itself. Not that I'm here to promote it or anything. It's called The American Experiment. And it's a documentary about the founding fathers and people. They called it the American Experiment because they weren't sure it was going to work.
Right.
This new government.
We're so young.
And the cool thing, I saw the trailer. They're interviewing people completely across the aisle. Like I printed out a couple of the people, like Hillary Clinton, Jamie Raskin, Mike Pence, Rand Paul, Al Gore, Ted Cruz. I think
love that.
pretty
That is
cool.
Awesome.
Right.
I love that.
And they talk about what this amazing young government and now current government means to them.
Yeah.
Wow. So again, it airs when?
It premieres on the 24th, which is Wednesday, on Netflix. And I guess there are 5 parts.
Okay.
And I guess it'll be on Netflix for a while.
Is this okay for the twins? Is this their biggest role to date? Or I mean, that's a pretty darn big role.
They've done some commercials, but I think because this is Netflix, and like everybody can get it. Which is
it's a big deal. You know, I have to want having 2 girls that are in the industry, in the business,
Really?
not like this, but I mean, they growing up. I mean, they were in their school plays and things like that. And so sometimes they go for the same things, and one person gets it, the other doesn't. How does that work for them? And what's that been like?
Well, we're still wondering because every now and then that does happen. We're also wondering about girlfriends, by the way. It's like, how's that going to work? But that's a whole other topic.
No, do tell. No.
I know.
But they act like when they were at Ingram High School, they often were double cast. Like they both played Jean Valjean in Les Mis, like every other night. So their bummer was like they each got to do it 3 times instead of 6. So so far, things have worked. And the thing now that they're doing, I don't know how much time we have, but
we're good. Yeah.
They're finding out that casting directors don't really care what your resume says. They want to know how many followers you have on social media.
Interesting.
So
how are they doing with that? Are they pretty even?
They met with a friend of theirs from the UW who's during the pandemic, she created this whole persona online, and she's got millions of followers. So she's kind of mentoring them. So they now are posting almost every day these super, super short comic duo bits they do it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the Snapchat, and one other, I don't know. And so if you want to watch their silly videos, and the one about the hokey pokey has gotten over 1 million hits already. They're already like, what the heck? Because they're silly. You just search for Kirby and Patrick, all small letters on those.
Kirby and Patrick.
KIRBY AND PATRICK
and
as
they're
one
on
word. Instagram, YouTube.
It isn't. Let's just step back for a
Crazy.
minute. That's where we are now.
Yep.
Right? Where that it's not just your craft. And I guess I see it from the other side, especially in an industry that we're seeing so much competition and, more options. Mm-hmm. If I have two people, let's say, that are both good and could do the job, who has more followers, it just, what I think what's unfortunate about it is you can, as an employee, or just as a person, let's say with high career ambitions, you can no longer just think about your work. You have to think about how I market my work, which is an entirely different part of your brain.
And you do it all yourself in your apartment with your own microphone, with your own, Ring camera, and then you have to edit your video yourself. And you have to have all these additional skills. You're not just an actor. You're not just a singer. You're a producer. It's nuts.
It is crazy. Okay, you're listening to local personality MJ McDermott, who you watched, I'm sure, for a couple of decades on Fox 13. Right now, are you enjoying the heat, by the way?
I'm not a huge fan of heat. Okay, is global warming happening? When I started working in 2001 at Q13 then, we never talked about fire weather.
Oh, no.
We
Now
never
it's a
talked
thing.
about smoke.
It's a thing every summer. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, so 2010 or so, all of a sudden it was like, what the heck? And then those giant plumes of smoke would cover us. I'm starting to dread the summer.
Yeah, because of the wildfires.
Yeah, but by August, you're like, is it going to be one of those summers where we have the gray skies, especially if you end up going over to Chelan, where it seems like every summer
we've already
there's a
had
huge fire.
fires in Spokane.
Yes.
There's a few spot fires out in eastern Washington already.
Yes, absolutely.
Ursula, I have to call out, I fell into the trap, or maybe we fell into the trap. I get with other moms and we talk all about the kids, and we're just like, what about you? How are you doing?
I know, right? I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. It is fun to follow the kids, though. Yay. How old are yours?
Mine, let's see, 18 and 21.
Oh, okay. So college
new
age.
empty nester.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm curious, though, because both sons decided to go into acting.
Yes.
And,
Weird.
Even when you are 29 years old, you still have that. I mean, when your sons are 20, because I have a 29-year-old as well.
You do?
Yeah, and you don't stop worrying about them. And I mean, Hollywood is tough. I mean, so how do you feel like, hey, they've got this big, both of them have a big role coming up?
It's very exciting, and yes, you do get scared too. But it's also this. They're adapting to this gig economy really, really well, because they still wait tables a few nights a week in LA, and they've got the YouTube channel stuff, which they're not getting paid for. But they also created an online Etsy shop where they sell T-shirts.
Oh, get out!
Believe it or not, it's like you cobble stuff together to. I did showbiz.
To make it happen.
You do what you can.
Yeah.
To make.
Did you ever say, are you sure you guys don't want to be engineers? Did you ever?
You know what? I didn't, because I was an actor. I have a degree in theater. And then and after they were born, when I realized I did want to do theater, can't do theater because I couldn't afford it, I went back to school for atmospheric sciences because I had the broadcast, I had the announcing thing, you can talk a lot, and got the degree in atmospheric sciences at the University of Washington, and being on TV combined the acting side of me, but I also like science.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some listeners saying, again, repeat the name of the show and when it can be watched.
It's called The American Experiment, and it's on Netflix, premiering this Wednesday, June 24th.
And both of MJ's sons are featured in this documentary.
Patrick and Kirby.
That's
Congratulations
fantastic.
to
I am
them.
the mother of 2 George Washingtons.
Never thought you'd say that, right?
Isn't that weird? Life is so fun, isn't it?
So
Ursula,
it
29-year-old,
absolutely is.
and Angela,
Absolutely,
20-something.
yes.
Yeah.
Soon to be 30. I'm like,
It's weird.
I think, how did that happen? How am I a mother of a almost 30-year-old? Hello.
High five. I know, too, man. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
John Curley here. When it's time to add or replace a cooling system, 3 things matter: who installs it, the quality of the equipment, and how it performs for years. For these reasons, I recommend Home Comfort Alliance, award-winning service, licensed experts, and installs they stand behind. Their carrier system leads the industry for efficiency, quietness, and dependable performance for years. And right now, save up to $3,000 in rebates. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about soccer. Serious passion, inhuman stamina, and yet exaggerated injuries. Soccer is one of the few sports where overtime is a little subjective. One thing we know is that many fans enjoy game day with craft brews. Be sure to keep a clean sheet. It's not worth trading in those bicycle kicks for riding your bicycle to work. When being pulled over for DUI, there are rarely yellow cards, only red. So play it safe and don't go off sides. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free private consultation. If you're stopped for DUI midfield from home and there are no free kicks, make it your goal to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Driver error, a design flaw, or mechanical malfunction. ABC's Jim Ryan says investigators are looking into the details of a deadly crash involving a Tesla Model 3 in a suburban Houston neighborhood.
76-year-old Martha Avila was putting away groceries when the electric car crashed through the front of her house and killed her. Sheriff Sergeant Alex Turman says the driver showed no signs of impairment before he was taken to the hospital.
We're still evaluating what caused that car to fail to control its speed just before this crash.
Michael Butler said his Tesla's automatic driver assistance mode was engaged before he slammed into the front of the brick house. Tesla has not commented. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Fire officials warn Western Washington's wildfire risk is climbing as dry weather continues across the region. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports.
Since May 1st, Eastside Fire and Rescue say they've responded to 33 bark and brush fires in their service area. Jordan Simmons, battalion chief with Eastside Fire and Rescue, is urging everyone to stay vigilant and not spark a wildfire.
If you're parking in tall, dry grass, just don't do that with your vehicle. That's another common cause of fire. Cigarette butts, obviously, is another big cause of wildfire.
According to the U.S. Drought Monitor, last month was the 37th driest May on record for Washington since 1895.
If you've ever circled Golden Gardens hunting for parking, there's some good news. Starting this Saturday, a new bus takes you right to the popular Ballard Beach. The city and King County Metro are calling it the Golden Gardens Direct. Mayor Kitty Wilson, along with King County and Metro leaders, are at Golden Gardens Park right now. The shuttle will run every half hour from Market Street between 11 in the morning and 9 at night. The fare is $3 and kids under 18 are free. The test run will last until August 30th. Seattle police are investigating after a Belltown bartender was injured in a violent assault caught on camera. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Shelton reports the suspect threw a glass that shattered and cut the bartender's neck.
The bar owner says crime in the neighborhood is running rampant.
We're trying to keep our patrons safe, and it seems like sometimes that we kind of are thrown to the wolves out here. We just have a situation where we have a lot of excess drug use that creates an environment which makes it hard for us to run a small business.
The mayor's office announced plans to address similar issues in the Chinatown International District, North Beacon Hill, and along Aurora Avenue. Belltown businesses hope they'll be next.
The Washington Department of Health is warning FIFA visitors about the strength of cannabis in Washington. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss reports.
DOH told us they don't have the data to back up that claim right now. But several pot shops have told us they're having an uptick in curious visitors, both international and domestic.
It's a lot stronger than
a lot of other weed.
When it comes to cannabis in Washington, DOH is reminding tourists wanting to get high to start with a low dose and go slow.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, this traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Southbound I-5 still moving slow from Northgate into downtown with typical backups through the Ship Canal Bridge. On the east side, expect congestion on both directions of 405 through Bellevue, Kirkland, and Renton. Westbound SR 520 remains crowded as you head into Seattle. I-90 is seeing heavier volumes approaching Mercer Island. Some drive times right now, Federal Way to Seattle about 33 minutes, Renton to Bellevue 20, Everett to Seattle about 35 minutes. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12-month free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. For your weather, lots of sunshine and hot weather today. It'll be in the 80s. Right now, it's 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Angela Poe Russell is co-hosting with me this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. The World Cup has brought Seattle the kind of global attention that cities usually spend years and years and years trying to buy. So we've had the packed streets. You've talked about the waterfront. We've had packed trains. We've had watch parties, international fans, and of course that big U.S. win right here in Seattle on Friday. And fans have been gushing about the city and the stadium on social media.
Best World Cup stadium in the U.S. Check this out. Olympics, right over there, the sound. Then we come over here and wait for the view.
So someone was going on and on about the views and just how great it is at the Seattle Stadium. But beyond the excitement, this has also been a major test. Can we do things on this big global scale? And if the answer is yes, what does it mean for the next big event? And joining us now is Beth Knox, President and CEO of the Seattle Sports Commission. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. So if you were to grade how we've done so far, what grade would you give us for how we've performed?
Oh my gosh, I think Seattle is really in that maybe A- place, maybe a B+ in times, but only because there's always opportunity for improvement, for growth. But the city is showing up, and that is so much a part of the success of an event like this.
Now, Beth, I have no idea how long you have been working on this. I'm sure it's been some time. I can't imagine what it must feel like for something like, I know you've done this events for a while, but this is different, right? What does this feel like to see this coming to life and to see it be such a hit?
It's an emotion that's almost difficult to describe, Angela. And for me, it is so much more than just the matches or just a watch party here and there. It is the whole connective tissue. And you were talking about earlier, it's the transportation, it's the stadium, it's the many watch parties, not just the big ones. And the fans and local and visiting, how we've welcomed the visiting fans, all of that put together is what makes this so spectacular. And our city services, they're out there, they're showing up, they're keeping the city clean. After all these huge crowds come through. It's the combination of all of that that makes it so successful. And it just gives me incredible pride in our city. And I love seeing that we have exceeded our potential. I always knew that we had the ability to do this, and to see it actually executed is just a very emotional time.
I'm going to be honest, I'm actually getting goosebumps as you are talking right now, so I wholeheartedly agree. But how much does a successful World Cup help Seattle's case for landing other big, huge events? And what kind of events could we be looking at?
Well, first of all, it's everything. It puts us in that upper echelon. We will get to take that title of World Cup host city forever. We will forever have that title. And so it really does position us to be in that higher echelon of consideration for these bigger events. But it also makes it easier for, I would say, the small to mid-size events because those are just as important to me. You can't always have back-to-back mega events. You want to have the lacrosse tournaments between universities or in an Olympic qualifying event. There's or a softball tournament. There's all these different things that could come into our city at different times of year. And that is sometimes can be even more valuable on an annual basis, right? We want the December volleyball event at the convention center when we don't have the same level of visitors.
No, that's such a great point, because something I pointed out to Ursula earlier was just how full downtown was. It was great to see the storefronts full of things to do and people out there. So to your credit, like, all those events matter and make for a vibrant space. Okay. I told Ursula earlier, I told everyone listening, I said, I feel like we are at a pivotal point. We are riding the high, the success of this so far, knock on wood. And at the same time, we have a new government administration. What do we need to do as a city, as a community, as government leaders to keep the momentum going? What are you hoping they will do?
Well, I think a big piece of it, Angela, is that we need to have that connection with each other, that we take this muscle memory that we've created in producing the World Cup as a team, that collective team, and not lose the lessons learned, maintain the cadence of how we execute, the systems that we use to execute, the planning. All of that has to. You will lose that if we don't maintain it. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is appreciating that sometimes it's less about what was that economic impact number for this particular event, and does that say that it's worth it? And more so, how many visitors are coming back to Seattle after having been here and experiencing this incredible event? How many businesses are saying, I want to move my business there, or I want to expand my business to Seattle as a result of seeing this either firsthand or through the broadcast? How many people say, I want to come and live and work in Seattle because this was such an incredible experience? That there's real value in that is actually, I think, has a higher value in many cases for us. And then positioning our city on that global stage, having a reputation where we are showcasing ourselves as an extraordinary region to come visit, to come work in, and to do business with, that is truly an immeasurable value.
This is Beth Knox, President and CEO of the Seattle Sports Commission. I do want to ask, because not everybody is a soccer fan and not everybody is like, oh, I love having humongous crowds downtown. Okay, so we got to just add a question for those folks. Let's talk about, the events requiring public spending on security and transportation and preparation. How do you answer folks who say, this is great and this is exciting, but are taxpayers getting enough back?
Well, every time that we execute on something like this and we do spend money to ensure that our fans and visitors and locals are safe, again, that creates muscle memory, and it creates that reputation and the sense of safety that we all want to have living in a city like this. So there's value in making sure that continues. Hosting these events, it keeps us sharp. It keeps us on our toes and ensures that our city is livable and it is safe. And that's what every local taxpayer is wanting. So I think it's a means to an end to ensure that we have a really tremendous place to live and work in.
And we only have 30 seconds, actually probably not even that, but what is the next big event that we can look forward to after this?
Well, there's a lot that we are bidding on right now. One that is a little further out, but I know a lot of people are asking about, and that is the 2031 Women's World Cup. So we are so eager to host that event, and using this Men's World Cup as a platform is exactly the right thing to do. But lots of events that we are considering at this point.
Beth, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And congratulations. So far, fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having me, and come out to World Cup. It's great.
I know. I need to do it. I'm trying to figure out how to rearrange a few things on Wednesday. Thanks again.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Okay, still ahead, we try to solve other people's problems with scenarios. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
If your water heater's failing or running out too fast, we've got CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program. Get a new system starting at just $44.99 a month with lifetime repairs and maintenance included. Book your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Hey, how is your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
It is 10:48, and Angela Poe Russell is in for G today and tomorrow. Right now, it is time for us to do scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Okay, put those thinking caps on. Here's the scenario. I'm 34. I've been offered my dream job. It would nearly double my salary and is exactly the kind of work I've wanted to do for years. The catch is that it's across the country.
Oh.
6 months ago, my parents retired and moved near me. At the time, I promised to be around to help. They're healthy now, but they're counting on me being nearby, and they don't know about the job offer yet. My partner thinks I'm going to regret it if I turn the job down. My parents spent years supporting me and making sacrifices so I could succeed, and I feel guilty even considering it. If I take the job, I feel selfish. If I stay, I worry I'll always wonder what might have been. Should I take the opportunity or keep the promise I made to my family?
Oh, no.
Man.
That's a tough one.
I know.
Okay. If I were to answer honestly, I would, and what I have done in my past, in my own situations, I would pick my family first. I don't recommend that for everybody, but that's what I would do. Could you potentially regret that you didn't take your so-called dream job? And the reason I say, if your parents now have moved, they moved to be closer to you, you only have a limited amount of time with your parents, you could have another opportunity down the line in the future when it comes to job, but when it comes to your parents, this is just how I feel. But I think that there are multiple ways to look at it.
Yeah.
Because you may have regrets. And I just look at my own life where I chose to stay in this market when I had opportunities in other markets, but I chose to be here because of family.
And how do you feel?
And I don't regret that one bit.
Yeah, I think it comes down to what we would advise and what we would do. And I'm in lockstep with you, Ursula. It's like I would definitely stay, but to somebody I don't know, I'd be like, yeah, YOLO, go chase your dreams. But I also wonder, though, where the parents would be in that also. And I would imagine, parents are some of the most understanding folks walking this earth.
This is true.
And I can't think of a supportive parent that would be like, yeah, no, stay with me. I think it's just, you got to do it. You got to go chase your dreams and take the job. I think the parents would understand.
Well, what would make it really easy is if the parents were to say, you know what? We can also move.
Oh, there you go.
If you had that option, that would be very easy.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, it's not easy.
Could I propose, if she's
Yes.
making double, and her parents are still healthy, couldn't they just come stay with her a few months at a time?
That's just it.
If
there is that option, then look for that option.
Yeah. All right. Do I weigh in too?
Of
Because I'm not
course,
used to
you
doing
weigh
this.
in, yes.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And
it has
Nick.
to start with having a combo with the parents. But you have to keep in mind that parents are going to always say, "Oh no, don't worry about us." You have to get to the bottom of how they really feel.
Yes.
And I think having that discussion, she will get a better sense for what she needs
Absolutely.
to do. And there's a middle ground or something to do temporarily. But I can tell you, as someone who's had like some of my biggest dreams come true, it is not as sweet when your family's not with you.
Thank you.
I have seen that in my life, that if the family and your loved one's part, it's not right, nothing's right.
you are 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
And that's why when I look back, I don't regret having given up those opportunities, because then other opportunities came up for myself as well. But you only have that one chance with the family.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm inclined to agree with y'all. It's are we out of time?
We got to go to Nick.
Nick.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The way I see it in this day and age, the opportunities are few and far between for young people these days. And at 34, it sounds like that she's waited for a good amount of time to be waiting for this big break. And I can understand the dilemma of trying to stay with the family and their parents. But if they really love you and want what's best for you, they'd be on board for what you really want and helping you book the next flight for getting halfway across the country and opening up this new chapter in your life. Back to Mike's point as well, the parents would have an easier situation moving again first. So I wouldn't even see that as a roadblock in where she's going. So move again if you have to, because it seems like she's going to be happy with this new opportunity.
Absolutely. So the thing I was going to point out is that a philosophy I've landed on in the last 4 months or so is everything happens for a reason. And regardless of the choice, it comes back around. You might not understand it today, but you're going to understand it tomorrow.
But But what you said, Angela, about how if your family's not right, it's very hard to enjoy, even if you are making double the amount. And I look at, for example, my oldest son, who had moved after college to Florida, couldn't get any further from Seattle, really.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came down to it, he said, I'm going to move back to Seattle, even though, I'm going to have to give up a few things, but I'm going to go move back because I do want to be closer to family.
Yeah. And has it worked out?
Yes. Actually,
kind of like what you were saying. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
No, appreciate that. Okay, coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, we have more of the Gee and Ursula Show. We are going to have Luke join us again. We're going to be talking about some of the World Cup festivities coming up. And let's talk about some of the things that you can still do, even if you don't have a ticket for the actual match. So we'll have more coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Gee and Ursula on KIRO Newsradio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. And I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
John is a national champion ping pong player.
My greatest claim to fame is an actor who portrayed the Chinese national champion that played Forrest Gump. I played him in a national tournament and I actually beat him.
Competing at that level takes precision and healthy shoulders. But after years of wear and tear, he was dealing with a serious shoulder injury.
I had a slap tear. Success rate for the surgery was only about 15%.
Instead of surgery, he chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experience in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The next day, I was pretty much 100%. I was pain-free. I had problems with my shoulder for 20 or 30 years.
And have you been able to compete again?
I won a national title 6 months after the procedure. My shoulder's like I'm an 18-year-old.
So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran and the U.S. signaling talks are advancing on a permanent peace deal following the first round of negotiations in Switzerland. Vice President J.D. Vance says Iran has agreed to let international nuclear inspectors into the country. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge is in Lucerne.
Those inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency were already very much part of the verification process. So, I mean, it's not an additional win by the Trump administration in terms of these negotiations. And the vice president was very clear. He conceded that, there is still a long way to go.
President Trump in a social media post says Iran will have to, quote, agree to have major weapons inspections for a long time. Health and Human Services say the 42-day quarantine period has ended for 18 Americans exposed to hantavirus on a cruise ship, adding no sustained transmission of the virus was identified in the U.S. And legendary music producer Clive Davis has died. He's credited for discovering music icons, including Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston. This is ABC News. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announcing that he is resigning following pressure within his own party to step down. He'll stay on as Prime Minister until elections are held in July. Here's ABC's James Longman.
He made it clear he was very proud of his track record in office. But really, Keir Starmer, what he did there was cast himself as someone who got Labour re-elected, electable again after so many years in opposition with an enormous landslide. Clearly very, very proud of that. And he says with good grace, he's decided to hear what the Labour Party is saying, and they want him to leave.
Andy Burnham, who's seen as a top candidate to replace Starmer, was sworn in today as MP for Makerfield. Another line of volatile storms on tap for the Midwest and parts of the South again today. It comes after there were more than 50 reported tornadoes over the weekend, with the most logged in Kansas, Illinois, and Indiana. 2 deaths now confirmed in Illinois, 1 in Kansas. Illinois already held the record for the most tornadoes to hit the state during a calendar year. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Western Washington is about to feel some major heat. More on that in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Southbound I-5 is seeing the heaviest delays right now with the drive from Everett to downtown Seattle, taking you about 45 minutes. From Linwood into Seattle, expect about a half an hour. On the east side, traffic is slowing through Bellevue and Renton on I-405 with travel times running between 20 and 25 minutes. Westbound SR 520 and I-90 are both crowded as you head into Seattle with lake crossing trips around 20-25 minutes. Southbound I-5 through SeaTac and Federal Way remain slow in a few stretches. Get a new Carrier cooling system from Home Comfort Alliance and save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit Home Comfort Alliance now. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Western Washington is under a heat advisory today and tomorrow. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more on what to expect.
The National Weather Service is issuing that heat advisory from 11 Monday morning until Tuesday night from Bellingham down to Olympia and to the coast. Here's more from our own Ted Beener.
Not going to be extreme. We're going to have a few places getting up above 90 degrees, particularly tomorrow, Tuesday. That's when it's going to peak on this particular event.
Prolonged exposure can lead to heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Beener says to stay hydrated and find a cool air-conditioned space for at least 3 hours each day. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
As a stretch of hot weather settles into Puget Sound, Pierce Transit is helping residents stay cool. The transit agency is providing free transportation to cooling centers and emergency shelters through Wednesday. The offer applies to buses, runner, and shuttle paratransit services. Passengers can receive a free round trip by letting their driver know they're headed to or from a cooling center. A Seattle bartender is speaking out after being attacked by a customer after he refused to serve him after last call.
It was like a very violent, just like, can I throw a 99 fastball real quick?
This all happened around 1 a.m. Friday at Provisions in Belltown. Surveillance camera captured it all. A man started grabbing drinks and bottles off the counter. When the bartender tried to stop him, the man threw a glass at his chest. That glass shattered and cut his neck. The man walked out, appearing to grab another drink off the counter on his way. Thankfully, a customer who's a nurse patched up that bartender.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reporting. 5 King County beaches are closed after water testing found high bacteria levels. The closures include Jean Coulon Beach, Juanita, and Waverly Beaches in Kirkland, Matthews Beach in Seattle, along with Lake Meridian Beach in Kent. Health officials say contaminated water can cause stomach illnesses, skin irritation, and other infections. Swimmers and pet owners are urged to stay out of the water until follow-up testing shows conditions are safe. Meanwhile, the search for a missing boater on Lake Washington is expected to resume today after being postponed for 2 straight days. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu reports.
Officials say heavy winds were the problem Saturday. On Sunday, rescue crews say a boater ran into a cable attached to a sonar-equipped robot they were using to search the bottom of the lake.
We know the family is monitoring our activities. They are depending on us to get closure for them. And we intend to do just that. It may take some time, though.
The sheriff's office says with more people heading out to the water to enjoy the warm weather, situations like this show how important life jackets are.
For your KIRO News Radio weather, the heat is on today. Highs will be in the mid-80s. Right now, it's 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today and tomorrow, and actually Wednesday. Angela Poe Russell is in. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Ursula.
Thank you so much for coming in today and tomorrow. And coming up on Wednesday, you said you were actually going to go to a game.
Yes.
You're going to go to the match.
I'm going to a game. Woo! Yeah, some friends had an extra ticket.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about what is coming up in terms of World Cup festivities. Even if you don't have a ticket, is there a way that you can enjoy all the hoopla? And the answer is yes. So we'll talk about that. Coming up at 11:30 when we do Agree to Disagree, did you hear that M&M's will be getting rid of some iconic colors? Okay, we're going to have to weigh in on that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I do love my M&Ms, caramel, espresso especially. But in any case, text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
The World Cup party in Seattle could get a whole lot louder, as if Friday wasn't loud enough, right? Well, Team USA has already advanced after beating Australia at Seattle Stadium, a.k.a. Lumen Field. But now there is a chance that The Americans could come back. And Luke Ducey, you've been looking at all things World Cup. So tell us first what we can expect this week and what are the possibilities of Team USA coming back?
Sure. Well, good. The possibilities are really, really good. So let's kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit with the U.S. national team. So they have won with Friday's win. They have won their group. This is the group stage before they go to the knockout stage. The knockout stage really is if you win, you keep going. And if you lose, you go home. It's over. And if it's a tie at the end of the game in the knockout stage, then you go into overtime and then penalty shootouts.
Oh, boy.
Now it's just a tie, right? Tie is a tie. But after that. So here's the deal. They won their group Friday, so no one can surpass them. But they have one more game this Thursday against Turkey. So expect that not a lot of the star U.S. players will play. They're going to bench them because why would you do that? Risk injury, etc. But they still want to win that game because if they win that game, they win the group with maximum points, 9 points, which for the whole tournament puts them really at a really, really high seed. Not many teams are going to finish with 9 points. And that means that there are teams, the top 2 teams from each group go, and then there are about 4 teams that finish in third place that have the best third place records will go to the next round knockout stage as well. The U.S., if we win Thursday, will play one of those really, really lucky teams to have made it through with a horrible record. So our chances are really good. And that's in the round of 32 teams, and that's going to be played down in the Bay Area. So we should win that game after we beat Turkey. And then we would come back here to Seattle and
potentially
play
July 6th.
But July 6th, we will play another a good team in the round of 16 teams.
Okay, nice. By the way, have you been following that mathematician who is predicting the winner? And he's predicted the last 3 World Cup winners.
Ooh.
And so he has this whole like algorithm and 4 categories. And so anyway.
Who did he pick?
The Netherlands.
I was going to say the Netherlands or France. Both of those teams look fantastic. And France is playing today, and their star player is Mbappe. He is probably the highest paid soccer player in the world.
Oh, wow.
He's lightning fast, and he's so good. And he's really exciting to play. I think he's already scored 2 goals in the World Cup so far this year.
Okay.
And
All right, I digress. Sorry, I just had to bring that up.
Let's talk about what we can expect this week in terms of crowds, parties, etc.
Well, I think a lot more of this.
USA! USA!
Because U.S. fans are still pumped up, and it doesn't matter if they're in the streets, they will chant that. And we heard a lot of this already as well, and I kind of miss this.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
I know, the Aussies were great fans,
Love
but
them.
we're going to have fans pouring into Seattle this week from 4 different countries, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Qatar as well, and then also from Egypt and Iran. So we've got 2 games, one on Wednesday and one on Friday. On Wednesday at Seattle Stadium, we've got Bosnia and Herzegovina taking on Qatar. And their group is these 2 teams, a lot of people will overlook them because they're at the bottom of their group, but these are going to be exciting games to watch, especially this one, because there's a chance they could go through to the next round if they win, but they also have to win by scoring a lot of goals as well to surpass the top of the group, which is Canada and Switzerland. They're sitting at the top, but like Qatar needs a win and they need Canada to lose by a lot. That could happen, and Qatar would go through. Bosnia needs to win, and they need Switzerland to lose when Canada and Switzerland play at this exact same time, and they need to score a lot too. So a lot riding on the line on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then on Friday, Egypt and Iran, a lot of people talking about this because of these 2 countries politically, geopolitically speaking, and their stance on homosexuality. And, this is Pride Month.
Right.
Pride Day coming up during that game, too. So that's obviously a headline that we'll be watching. But as far as soccer goes, I think soccer, just like the Olympics, tries to take the politics out of the game and let the players play and the fans come together and be together as one. They play a great game coming up this Friday. Again, their group is just so jumbled, and every team in that group looks horrible that it's anyone's game. And so it's really going to come down to the last day for all those teams to see who goes through the next round.
But there'll still be lots of parties, right? I mean, and watch parties. And Angela, you were giving some advice in terms of where people should go.
Yes, exactly. So I happen to love the Pier 62 watching opportunity. If you can get tickets, it's called Seattle Soccer Celebration. All of them are not. There's still a few that have available tickets, and adults $50, and children, I want to say it was like $13, something like that. So you can go to Seattle Soccer Celebration, put that in Google. The other place is Pacific Place Mall. Because it's air conditioning, you can go inside, so that's
Huge
nice.
screen.
But you're like, okay, well, I could do that at home, but no, like you're actually around a community of other fans,
And they
which
have
is really
games
cool.
that they are doing, and like especially Pacific Place.
I didn't get to see that, but apparently they have some kind of pitch or something where you can actually play on the pier. I wasn't able to see
on the pier. It's the only floating. It's one of a kind floating playing surface. Same with Pacific Place. You can play little games there. But they also at Pacific Place. I heard they have pop-up markets too.
Oh yeah, I had matcha yesterday. There was ice cream. Yeah, there was lots of stuff like pop-up vendors, and it was.
I know.
It's
if
super
only
fun.
it could be like this all the time, right? I mean, people. I wanted to play some of the audio that. Have you been seeing it? You've been seeing it all over social media. Just foreigners' reactions to Seattle, the U.S., the reception that they're getting. I love it.
I have to say this about the World Cup. America has absolutely smashed it. Before this tournament, you had people online saying it's going to be a terrible World Cup. America doesn't like football. Nobody's going to travel. We're not going to feel welcomed. And it's been quite the opposite. We've got fans from all corners of the globes. We've got packed world-class stadiums, by the way. Friendly people. Everybody you meet is just stopping you and talking about football and your experiences. I think we can all agree that America has done an absolutely fantastic job of hosting this World Cup so far. I genuinely feel a lot of people's opinions on America will now change after this World Cup.
And I'm just curious, is it because it's so novel to have it here in this country that people are reacting this way? Or is it because of the, social media?
We've hosted once before, and now we're co-hosting with Canada and Mexico, but the bulk of the games are being played in the U.S., including the final in New York, New Jersey, like the Meadowlands, which is, I don't know what they're calling it this for the World Cup. But anyways, you know what I think is I saw this still with U.S. fans. There are a lot of U.S. fans that are into the game, but there are a lot of them that are just kind of really curious about the world, the game, but also the rest of the world and how the rest of the world handles the game.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. Just walking around yesterday, I heard so many different languages being spoken. I mean, all these different languages. I met a couple, they were from the U.S., but they live in Virginia, and they said, everyone is so nice.
Yeah.
They were just like, their jaws were just on the ground, how nice everyone is. In another shop, there were some guys from California, and they gave me a slice of pizza. They heard me talking about the pizza on the in the window or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, have some of our pizza." I mean, it's all good vibes right now. Everybody's just
I love it.
Friends.
I
don't want it to end.
No, and I was skeptical too. I thought this was going to be a horrible World Cup. It's going to be horrible. It has blown my mind. It's fantastic. I think for people coming into our country and into our city especially, they're discovering new things, and I've only heard positive things about the Seattle experience for foreigners coming in.
Yes.
And they're embracing the culture here in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest. But for these U.S. fans who are coming from different parts of the country as well, and they're not from Seattle, we're kind of like soccer fans who are watching the cool kids. Oh, how do they celebrate? Because, we kind of have an idea, but they have been doing it for so much longer, and they got it down.
So true.
And so we watch them to see what the cool kids are doing.
So true.
But then we all come together. I saw handshakes and hugs.
That's what I love.
I saw after the game, people had traded in the stands, like different things, like a scarf or an inflatable kangaroo.
It's almost like a Taylor Swift concert. Here's your bracelet.
Bracelets. They had something from the other fans, and I thought that was so cool.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for bringing your enthusiasm along with your reporting. I love it. So we're going to have a fun week.
It is going to be a fun week.
Absolutely.
Before you go, any tickets? Have you heard the latest? Not you, but I mean, have you heard the latest at all on are people accessing actual games? No.
Are they going?
Okay.
Yeah, no. I've seen scalping outside. You can get them on the secondhand market for a lot of money. The games are sold out. But I think you go down there and without a ticket, go to a bar, watch. I think that's just as fun, honestly.
Yeah. Well, for all the concern, thank you, Luke. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
For all the concern about the massive World Cup crowds downtown, Friday's match was not marked by any mass arrests or chaos, which is, again, kudos to SPD and all the planning. But Seattle police say there were a couple of problems, and mostly having to do with drones. So there were 11 drones seized during the match on Friday. 4 people were arrested. 2 were for flying drones, 2 others for trespassing at the stadium. And in case people don't know, drones are strictly banned around World Cup matches and fan events, obviously for security reasons. And the FAA has a temporary flight restriction in place around Lumen Field on match days. But the FBI Seattle says the restrictions are meant to protect fans and players and, of course, the stadium and critical infrastructure. And if you don't pay attention and you continue to fly your drone, you could face fines of up to $100,000 and potentially face federal criminal charges.
Listen, okay, I have a couple of thoughts. Number one, if the worst thing I hear out of this that people were flying their drones, you know what? Great.
Again, that's
Number
a success.
two, what are you thinking? This is a global event with security. They have blocked out the area in a 1 mile radius. Why do you think you were going to get away with flying a drone? So that is, that was an interesting one for me. That was not on my bingo card
That
to hear about people
wasn't
flying
either.
their bones. But I didn't think I'd hear about this marijuana thing either.
Yes.
What's the deal with this?
Okay, so apparently our pot over here is stronger than it is in a lot of other parts of the country. This is what I'm learning. I don't know that from experience.
But it's kind of suspect.
But
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
so,
Give me the rest of
so
the
they're
story. Yeah, go ahead.
basically, health officials are warning visitors. They're saying, cannabis products sold in our state may be stronger than what you are used to in your either country
come
or
from, yeah.
elsewhere in around. And basically, on Friday, a Department of Health social media post advised people to start with a low dose and wait before consuming more because, they can be pretty potent. And this local spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
I can understand why people would travel here and think they're just going to get regular marijuana and then, have a hard time, end up in the hospital potentially.
But for some reason, the Department of Health then took that social media post down, which is also curious.
It's strange, right?
What's wrong with telling people, it could be a little stronger than you're used to, and maybe not appear to be encouraging it, but just being realistic because it has been legalized for recreational use.
I wonder if it was, of course I'm wondering, okay, is this accurate? Is it accurate that our stuff is stronger? And why did you look at me like that?
I've been told numerous times that yes, it is.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Okay, the only thing I could find, so I went to the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board.
Yes.
And they said that they do not limit the amount of THC, let me find this, in the actual flower. I want to say that's what it was. Okay. Washington State does not limit THC concentration in flower and concentrates. And so that means, but now edibles different. There is a regulation. The other thing that I found interesting was that they said in the 90s, THC concentration in dried cannabis was about 5%. And strains now have 15 to 20%, with some as high as 35. So if you come from a place where if they're harvesting something and the THC level is lower, and they're like, I'm going to come to Washington. And so when people say this isn't your 90s marijuana, like they mean it. Like
No,
it's
they
real.
really do mean
I used
it,
to always think they were joking and it's
real.
mixed.
But Scott in the 509, he's one of our experts. Text in, Scott. No, he owns a shop.
Oh, okay. I want to know.
I wasn't calling him out. He owns a shop, and he often will text in.
Oh, interesting.
But hey, did you hear that we're in the record books now also?
Really? For what?
Some munchies. No, just kidding.
Well,
dim
probably
sum.
that too.
Dim sum.
Okay, what's the story with
so
dim
over the
sum?
weekend, hundreds of people gathered in the Chinatown International District to set a new Guinness World Record for the largest dim sum eating party. And this is a story from my Northwest.
Why wasn't I
900 people. I
invited?
know. Okay, y'all, where's the best dim sum? Like, what's your favorite? Well, first of all, if you go to the International District, there's a lot of great stuff. And I am a big fan of Din Tai Fung too.
I love Din Tai Fung.
Oh my goodness. Yes,
It's
but
a problem.
it is a problem. and their green beans, not just the dumplings. But in any case, and Dozone's good too, but if you really want to have the good stuff, you're going to the International District. But this event, so the final head count was 830, and it was enough to beat the previous record set in Australia. But obviously it was more than just bragging rights. I mean, this was a way to also bring people into the CID and kick off summer with a little community pride.
I love it. I'm looking at pictures. You can see people lined up on these long tables.
Yes.
This is great.
Yes. So that is really cool. And then speaking of food, the other unsung hero that's apparently becoming a hero now amongst foreign visitors is our ranch dressing. Yeah. So ranch dressing is apparently a discovery for so many foreigners. And it has basically caused like this viral craze. Good for Kraft and other companies, but they're bringing bottles of it home. And it's actually created problems at some airports. TSA is reminding travelers that ranch counts as a liquid and you can't do carry-on unless it's 3.4 ounces. That's not a whole lot of ranch.
I saw a story that Kraft is making a TSA-friendly like ranch bottle, almost like a little hand sanitizer thing that you can attach to your backpack or your carry-on.
Okay, that's brilliant.
It's getting ridiculous, though. I need some ranch for my terminal food.
It's so funny,
awesome.
the things. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there are any things in other countries that I like that I can't get here. I know I have some. I just need to think about it. You know, the things that you visit another place and you're like, oh, man, I've never had this. And, oh, I think I have not been able to find it here.
What's that?
Piri piri chicken. Like, I find it here, but it's not the same as what I had in Portugal. It's not.
Like, for me, doner kebabs is a big thing, like, all over Europe. And even though I love gyros over here, there's something about the doners that you can get when you're traveling around Europe that just, I don't know, they hit different. I don't know what it is.
No, I know what you mean. Yep.
My taste is not nearly as exotic as y'all's ketchup chips from Canada.
Oh, there you go. That's a big one. I don't like ketchup.
I'd say all dressed, but you can get them here in the States now.
Okay. That's a good one to think about. This is fun.
We've got Agree to Disagree coming up. Stay with us.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net. Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey,
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. In the U.S.-Iran peace negotiations, mediators say both sides have agreed to a new 60-day roadmap toward a final deal. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest.
Vice President Vance announced in Switzerland earlier Monday that Iran agreed to let international nuclear inspectors into the country. Now, President Trump is weighing in, writing on social media that Iran will have to, quote, agree to have major weapons inspections in order to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future. Inspections were included in the nuclear agreement reached with Iran during the Obama administration in 2015. President Trump pulled the U.S. out of that during his first term, and Iran then began limiting inspections. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The World Cup has hit fever pitch in Seattle. The U.S. won the game on Friday, and in their group, it was a big party outside Lumen Field for Friday's game.
USA! USA! USA!
Seattle police say there were 4 arrests, though, 2 for trespassing and 2 for drone-related offenses. But fans tell KIRO 7 TV they're impressed with how things have gone.
I think the city's doing a good job of just staying on top and organized, which is really nice.
Even Shaq was part of Seattle's World Cup festivities. He's also known as DJ Diesel. He headlined a block party Saturday in Pioneer Square. There are 2 World Cup games in Seattle this week. These could be some of the most exciting games you'll see because we are into the final games of the group stage. It's win or go home for a lot of these teams. A stretch of warm, dry weather is raising concerns about wildfire season in western Washington. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports.
Jordan Simmons, battalion chief with East Side Fire and Rescue, is aware of the large fires in eastern Washington, but says small ones here can also become big if the conditions are right. He says people are usually the ones starting fires and dry weather isn't helping.
Anytime we have a period of drying that lasts for any amount of time, it's going to start drying out the smaller, lighter fuels.
He knows firsthand a small spark can lead to a much bigger fire. According to the U.S. Drought Monitor, last month was the 37th driest May on record for Washington since 1895, with rainfall more than a half inch below normal.
Have you ever tackled one of those plate-sized cinnamon rolls at the Maltby Cafe? KIRO News Radio's Manda Factor has some news.
The beloved Maltby Cafe in Snohomish County is getting a brand new home. Developer Westcott Homes just announced plans for Maltby Village. It'll rise on the cafe's current site with a new standalone building for the restaurant, plus shops, patios, and gathering spaces. The cafe's been a Puget Sound area favorite since 1988. The developer says it's working with the owners to keep the place feeling just like it always has. Construction is expected to start next year. Manda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, this traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Southbound I-5 is still seeing some heavy delays right now. It's about 40 minutes from Everett into downtown Seattle, about a half an hour from Linwood. Northbound I-5 remains busy through Tacoma and Federal Way. 405 is moving but congested with some stop-and-go traffic through Belltown and Renton. But westbound SR 520 and Interstate I-90 are both moving slow as you head into Seattle. No major incidents reported right now. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12-month free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. For your weather, the heat is on today. Highs will be in the upper 80s. Right now, it's 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:34 on the Gee and Ursula Show. Angela Poe Russell is filling in for Gee, and right now it is time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Oh man, it's time to talk about candy. So M&M's could look a little different soon. The company is rolling out different versions without artificial dyes, but some iconic colors may disappear in the process. So that raises a couple questions to discuss here. How concerned should we be about artificial food dyes? And beyond that, what's your favorite variety of M&Ms? I know we were talking a little bit off air on that, so I thought that would be fun to revisit as well. Dyes and M&Ms.
Heck to the no. They need to have been gone.
Right.
It's crazy to me the things that we've made okay in our food. There's this body of research that talks about the different food colorings, the dyes, and the behavioral changes it can create, especially in kids. And I preach this to my kids and no one listens. So I'm glad that the MAHA movement is in full effect and maybe putting pressure on these companies to come up with some natural alternatives. So my favorite one, I've always preferred the brown M&Ms because my thought process is that maybe that's closer to the real thing.
Well, funny enough, because they were looking at replacing blue and brown with purple and pink. Or
so what
shifting
is their
to
red
a
made of?
3-color mix. So so I'm just trying to look at, because that's what this story is, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
basically they're looking at going to they're going to keep red, yellow, orange, and green. Because I always thought, so I'm trying to understand, like, because I thought red dye was like
the
one
I
thought that was the biggest offender.
Problematic, but they're actually looking at getting rid of blue because it says that color blue relies on spirulina, which is an algae-based pigment. And so the ingredient requires a lot more material to achieve the same color intensity, and also contributed to challenges in producing the brown candies.
Here's what's crazy to me. It says in Europe they don't even use the same one.
Mm-mm.
And it's like, why do they get
Europe
the better version?
Yeah, Europe is farther ahead of us when
Give
it comes
us
to
the better version.
But don't you think, though, so much of our society is based, and what we like in our foods is how it looks. Like we eat with our eyes. So not only with the big portions and all that business, but also making it look artificially good. You're shaking your head. So, as an M&M connoisseur, am I going to miss blue and brown? No. Do we have to have every color of the rainbow? No. And when you were saying the MAHA movement, the Make America Healthy Again.
Yes, I should have said that.
I will actually say that this is one of those areas where RFK Jr., I think, was on to something. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm thinking like, okay, he sounds like a kook, but when it comes to the food coloring and looking at what's in our food, I mean, I want to know why so many young people, if you look at it, are getting cancers that normally young people don't get.
ADHD, autism, all that, which he's brought up, which... I do not agree with RFK on a lot of stuff. And I have to tell you, this is a bipartisan issue. This movement about dyes started way before this administration. Yes. And it happens to be that they found an advocate in the administration.
Yes, but am I overly concerned about M&Ms? And this is as an M&M connoisseur. Like when I was telling you that espresso brew, if you can get those espresso brew caramel M&Ms, they're so addictive.
Are you peanut or no nut?
No, not peanut. It's the caramel ones.
Oh, the caramel. Okay, I'm the peanut one. Yeah. Send me to the peanut gallery.
Oh, my goodness. But, it's okay if they just have 3 or 4 colors. It's fine.
See, it's interesting because I remember when I was a kid and they introduced blue M&Ms. And I don't know, like we were talking about aesthetics earlier, and I kind of associated blue with like that's like a fruit chew color type of thing. That's the color of Slurpee. It shouldn't necessarily be associated with chocolate per se. So if blue was to go, that would be fine. And when we were talking about brown going, I was like, well, then they could just go back to tan. Wait a sec, they got rid of tan M&Ms a number of years ago. So are
natural food dyes that have been used. They are being used. It just costs them a bit more money.
Yes. And they don't look as cute. And what are those M&M stores going to do?
I want us to be healthy.
Yeah.
Healthier anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. All right, so let's move on to our next topic then. From roller coasters to loading docks, that's the future being proposed for the Wild Wave site in Federal Way, which opens up a much bigger question. If not that, a warehouse, what should go at that site?
Do we know what kind of warehouse it is?
It's a big one. It's like 1 million square feet or some such like that. I don't know if it's been specified what type of warehouse it is, but regardless, it's going to be an eyesore. It's like, if when you go through Fife and you see like all of like those larger, more industrial sites, it's going to look like that. There's no way that it's going to be aesthetically
They're
pleasing.
just calling it industrial warehouse.
Do you want to go first, Ursula? Or would you like me to?
No, I just have a particular fondness for Wild Waves. I don't know if you ever took your kids there.
I never took them there, but but I know what that feels like to have your water park now be a ghost town. Mm-hmm. And this is depressing to see it go from this vibrant, splashy, colorful place to being a place where we just house things that are shipped and or manufactured or whatever is happening there. I would love to see it be a mixed use, because part of the challenge is having a water park in the area is the weather. Right?
Sure.
Yes.
And so I think having something similar to like Family Fun Center in Tukwila, where maybe it's a mixed use kind of thing, where it's part water park, part entertainment system, so you can use it throughout the year.
Yeah, that is past though, because they've already sold it, and it looks like this 1 million square foot warehouse building is going to have a lot of office space, which a lot of folks in Federal Way are not. That's not very exciting. To me, I was thinking, well, if you've got that big, huge, accessible piece of land, and it is close to the freeway, but we keep talking about this lack of housing, could you have created some additional housing spaces? But it looks like, in any case, it looks like, oh, wait, there could be 3 stories for some flexibility. So maybe there's something there. But I just miss Wild Waves.
You took your kids
this is
there?
The last. Oh, yeah. That was for a couple of birthday parties. That was the birthday party venue.
Mm.
And I have 2 boys, so it was a great place to have boys. The rides were a lot of fun, too. I almost like the rides better than the pools.
Yeah. I visited, there was a water park I grew up going to in Florida. It was right on the Florida-Alabama line. It was called Styx River Water World. And I had a chance to visit it years after it shut down. It was so depressing.
I know.
You just see the old, like, things are falling apart. Things are...
But here's the reality is, as soon as my kids were old enough, we forgot about Wild Waves.
Yeah.
Right? And I would have had to wait for the next generation. So do I really miss it that much? I just miss the memories of it. Right? Okay, I hear the music. It is time for us to wrap up, and we'll have We Hear Ya and Our Words to Live By coming up next.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Life doesn't have to slow you down just because costs are up. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther with the confidence of all-wheel drive. And you have to experience the newly redesigned Subaru Outback with bold styling, advanced safety, an upgraded touchscreen, and even more capability. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and current offers, stop by Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack and a $6 Biggie bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
John Gurley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth. Everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction. One day, Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters. Discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only because they've got below prime deals. That's right. Top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only because if you do, you'll be sorry.
And just like that, we are done with our Monday edition of the Gee and Ursula Show with Angela Poe Russell filling in. And this is our time for us to share your feedback for us. And our top story throughout the morning was all the World Cup festivities and just the reaction of the world to Seattle being a host city. Ernie in Kent says, I went along with some buddies down just to hang out on Friday, and it was amazing. I agree. The Aussies are also really cool.
That's awesome. Okay, Ryan, I was in town for a meeting. I was dreading it because of the crowds, because I take the train. I decided to just go and experience the vibe. It was amazing just walking around, enjoying everything.
Joel in Big Lake says, I've really enjoyed seeing people from other countries try our food and absolutely falling in love with it. And we're not just talking about ranch dressing.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Todd and Enumclaw, great segment. Just goes to show your haters will always find something to hear about. Seattle is one of the best cities and the greatest part of this country. And now everyone has had a chance to see it worldwide.
And Tamara in Tacoma says, I think those who love soccer and the world and its people are the ones going out and about happy, and the haters stay home.
Okay. On taxes going up, 206, you guys need to realize they don't care. They're going to keep raising taxes, fees, anything they can, because they really, in the long run, do not care about us.
Ouch. Katie in Tacoma says, I agree, focusing taxes on the wants people spend money on, not the needs that people spend money on.
Ooh, okay. Going to the next one. Bob in Edmonds says, ex-Governor Gregoire says, we don't have an income problem. We have a spending problem.
And then we had a conversation about e-bikes, Angela. And Richard, I'll reiterate, said 28 miles per hour is too high. Thinking about getting hit by one of those e-bikes going that speed. Yeah. And then Todd in Burien says, I use my bike for distance, not speed, because if you use too much speed, you can't go as far because you drain your battery. I bought a second battery for my rad e-bike where I can go around Lake Washington from Burien. Wow.
Marguerite and Lacey says, last year I was using a Lime bike over by the stadiums on my way to work. I lost my balance, fell over while getting on it, and it fell on me. That thing was heavy, and I struggled to get it off of me. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, on scenarios, you posed the scenario, Angela, of this person getting her dream job after having her parents move close by, her elderly parents who moved, and she was struggling between deciding whether she should get this dream job and move across the country or stay and, help the parents out since they'd helped her, as growing up.
Right.
And that was a great discussion. And Rachel C. said, take the parents with you. Now, we all agreed if that's an option, that's the best option. Take the parents with you.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. And then still accept the job. But that's not always the case.
Yes. Mark D. said, like Steven says, your parents want you to be happy. I think it crushed them that they held you back.
And again, I would say it depends, again, where they are in the stage of retirement, how healthy they are, etc.
Yeah.
And what was promised to have them move closer to you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Liz in Gig Harbor says, you can get another job, but you can't replace your parents. They sacrifice for you, and you can sacrifice for them.
Paul in 253 says, take the job. They moved once, they can move again.
But I think bottom line, Grandma in Everett says, talk to the parents, though. Invite them to move.
Yeah.
I think that's like the best
Having the
solution.
discussion would be great.
Yes.
Exactly.
Maybe they benefit from you moving, too.
Yeah, depending on where it is.
Yes,
You're making more money.
Okay, on ranch dressing, which we found out TSA is having to
is
put
so
out
funny.
warnings. And then Nick says that Kraft, was that the Kraft?
Yeah, they created this new TSA-friendly ranch little hand sanitizer container for people.
Absolutely brilliant. But anyway, Jenna in the 253 says they need to get the Uncle Dan's ranch packets. It's that dry mix, and that would pass through TSA no problemo. Also, it's hands down the best ranch dressing.
I've never had that before. Okay, I'll have to try it.
I got 3 different texts saying the same thing. I've never had Uncle Dan's ranch either, but I might check it out.
All right, shall we get to Ursula's words to live by?
Yes, but it's going to be Angela's words to live by today.
Let's do it. Okay, we've talked so much about the World Cup and about the community and this event bringing a lot of different people together. So in that spirit, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Henry Ford.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. And I think we have to just kind of keep building on that theme, too.
Right. I picked that because Beth Knox from the Sports Commission was saying how this is the beginning of kind of not keeping that muscle memory of working together in collaboration.
And she was trying to be also optimistic for those who, we heard from some Uber drivers who were saying, my Uber rides are down. Or some business owners who were saying, well, wait a minute. Yeah, there might be tourists for those particular spots, but my spot is getting hit right now. Mm-hmm. And she's saying, but bigger picture, we can only hope that this would mean and
more
have
people will
dividends
keep
for
Seattle
everybody.
in mind. Yep,
yes,
for other things.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to say thank you, Angela.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate you. Mike, thank you. Great job producing today.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure working with y'all.
And Nick.
Well, the energy was tangible last week before the match, while our own Luke Ducey tapped into the pulse for us to catch. And to add an extra bonus for the party on our lawn, we'll be seeing at least one more day with the U.S. moving on.
Just move on up!
And if they somehow don't have their next matchup favor them, they can find a comfort here with dim sum meals or M&Ms. Though I can't guarantee the blue and brown M&Ms, and I'm not sure they have ranch dressing at dim sum joints if that's your vibe. It might be BYOR, bring your own ranch.
I never thought I would hear that. Bring your own ranch. That is, I never thought I would hear that.
I've got to say, though, ranch dressing, it just hits. I do love ranch dressing. I'm going to guess that you don't.
I do not. But you know what? Oh, wait. Okay, there is an exception.
Yes.
I will eat it
Hidden
with chicken
Valley.
wings.
Oh. Okay.
Dipping the wings in ranch dressing. Yeah. Or
This
celery.
could be an unpopular opinion, too. I like ranch on my pizza as well.
Ooh.
What kind of pizza are you eating? What kind?
Any kind.
Chicken.
Hawaiian, supreme, cheese, pepperoni.
And you
the
just
crust is
pour it
perfect
on
with the
there?
ranch. Yeah, the crust, too, and you just drizzle a little bit on top.
Yeah, it's a little
I've seen some
different.
people do that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
but
I'm
you have
going to
to
try it in
yeah.
that spirit.
There
I'm
you
going
go.
to try it.
There you go. Well, Spike and Jake are ready to entertain you and try to help you keep cool with the heat wave. I hope all of you manage to stay cool. Remember to make sure that you drink a lot of water and find that AC if you don't have it in your own home. Mm-hmm. We'll do this again tomorrow.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Take nothing less than the supreme best.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because...
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent, accurate auto body.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
AC acting up? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first and only replaces if it makes sense. If you do need a new one, ask about an ultra-efficient heat pump and get real pricing in 60 seconds. Call the comfort people. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with